come out to play.
Welcome to Watch Mojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 low-budget movie ripoffs of blockbusters that were actually good.
You're playing with fire.
I know, and I love it.
For this list, we'll be looking at the most entertaining B-movies that were stylistically or thematically indebted to larger, more successful films. Which of these ripoffs is your favorite? Let us know in the comments. Number 10, Piranha. The successful release of Jaws in 1975 opened the floodgates to countless ripoff films based on the when animals attacked concept. While some of them were just phony attempts at cashing in on Jaws' success, others, like Joe Dante's Piranha, seems to have aged pretty well.
Still haven't tackled your solo swim, Grogan?
No, sir. Oh, she's kind of afraid of things in the water.
Things? What things? Fish? People eat fish, Grogan. Fish don't eat people.
Hailed by Steven Spielberg as the best of the Jaws ripoffs, the film's tongue-in-cheek, smart-alecky humor balances out its bloody violence quite perfectly. And while the special effects aren't the best in the biz, for a movie that's well aware of its parody status, it just seems to work. Piranha is economical filmmaking, sure, but it was successful enough to not only spawn a sequel in 1982, but a series of remakes that continued through the 2010s.
There are thousands of them. Thousands. And they're pissed.
Number 9, 1990, The Bronx Warriors. The Italian film industry was somewhat notorious for taking the premises of big blockbuster movies from America and delivering their own amplified versions at home. 1990, The Bronx Warriors was certainly no exception.
You work for the Manhattan Corporation.
I work for nobody. I don't care about the Manhattan Corporation. I don't care about the girl. I don't care about politics. I don't care about anything. I believe in nothing. I'm Hammer.
Directed by notable Italian director Enzo G. Castellari, the film combined the plot of John Carpenter's Escape from New York with a cast of colorful street gangs a la Walter Hill's The Warriors. The end result is a film that captures your attention with an impressive list of American character actors, including Christopher Connolly, Vic Morrow, and Fred Williamson.
You hear that, witch? Trash tells lies.
Sure, the lead actor Mark Gregory is almost comically stiff, but when the explosions are this big and the costumes so over the top, who really cares?
But nothing is worse than this hellhole.
That's what you think.
Number 8, Intruder. "1989 was a little late for yet another addition to the slasher boom that was already petering out. Yet it's this tardiness that, in a way, makes Intruder stand out from other horror films released that year. Of course, it helps that director Scott Spiegel was a close associate of horror icon Sam Raimi, having co-written the screenplay for Evil Dead 2. Still, Intruder is a Halloween derivative that manages to be quite original in its own right. The grocery store setting is eerie, for one, and the acting is universally better than many of the film's contemporaries at the time. Top that off with a cinematography that's able to drum up palpable tension, and you have an all-around solid slasher. Number 7, Strike Commando.
Bring me to Dakota!
Yeah, that's Dakota. Dakota there.
Hey, have you ever wondered what a movie like Rambo First Blood Part 2 or Missing in Action might sound like with a lot more yelling? Well, then wonder no more, because we're about to drop the bomb that is 1987's Strike Commando. The film stars Reb Brown in a performance that is hyper-masculine to a ridiculous degree, and features the actor in full rage mode for most of its runtime. Strike Commando fires off rounds, blows up jungle huts, and sets up some mother truckin' explosions, all the while keeping plot points as threadbare as possible. Meanwhile, Brown yells, shouts, screams, and basically stays on overkill from first frame to last.
I break your back!
Frankly, it's a thing of excessive beauty. Number 6, Alien Contamination. There's probably a running tally somewhere as to which film has seen more low-budgeted ripoffs, Jaws or Alien. We're honestly not sure of the answer, but we have the latter to thank for this Italian spawn.
Well, what do you think they are, Doc?
It could be something like a giant squash or avocado or some kind of mango.
They look like big green eggs to me.
Director Luigi Cozzi basically has one trick in his back pocket throughout the entire film. Some unfortunate soul gets splattered to smithereens by giant alien eggs. It's a hell of a trick, and he uses it over and over and over again, sometimes to not so bad effect. The cleanup crew on Alien Contamination certainly deserves some serious overtime, because this is one messy film. Further bolstered by a great prog rock score, Alien Contamination proudly wears its creative influences on its slimy sleeves. Number 5, The Mighty Peking Man. You know you're doing something right when that little King Kong ripoff you produced ends up becoming a favorite of none other than Quentin Tarantino.
All units, you are to concentrate your fire, and also intensify it. Anything to kill Peking Man. Anything to kill this Peking Man. Kill the Peking Man by any means you can. Kill the Peking Man by any means, that's an order.
Originally released in 1977, The Mighty Peking Man was re-released on DVD in 1999 by Tarantino's Rolling Thunder Pictures. The film is a monstrously entertaining riff, not so much on the original Kong, but rather Dino De Laurentiis' macro-budgeted remake from 1976. This Shaw Brothers studio production thankfully doesn't skimp on some impressive tricks of its own, with their own giant ape containing tons of personality and a great monkey suit.
What's up? We go back to jungle. Will you be safe?
The Mighty Peking Man is definitely an admirable pick for movie night while you're waiting for that next MonsterVerse flick to drop. Number 4, Space Hunter: Adventures in the Forbidden Zone.
What the hell are you?
What do you think I am, you scrawny earthbag? I'm a woman!
Beginning from the late 70s, there certainly was no shortage of outer space epics seeking to capitalize on the worldwide success of Star Wars. At the same time, the 80s also brought with them a new 3D craze, and right in the middle of that Venn diagram sits Space Hunter: Adventures in the Forbidden Zone. The flick absolutely delivers a charming space opera with a solid cast, including a young Molly Ringwald and a devilish Michael Ironside as the villain.
You have a very enviable life force. A life force you're going to share with me.
But you said if I made it through, I'm free!
I lied.
The makeup and practical effects are well handled, and Elmer Bernstein delivers a rousing score. These, plus the pretty great action scenes, all add up to give one of the most underrated video rental hits of the decade. Number 3, Abby.
Abby, stop it. I don't know why you're doing this to me.
I'm gonna show you what a real marriage ceremony is. You are gonna love and obey me.
The blaxploitation genre, to its credit, has probably seen more films utilize its stylistic tropes than the other way around. But for some of the directors within the genre, there was still a lot of inspiration elsewhere. Enter Abby.
I'll go.
Only if I say you can go.
Yes, you will go now, damn it.
Only when a Lauren says you can go, and he is not ready.
The 1974 horror flick is sometimes subtitled The Black Exorcist, and if that's not a clear indicator as to the film's intentions, then we don't know what is. However, that doesn't mean that Abby is shoddily made. It takes the premise of The Exorcist and plays around with it, replacing the possessing demon with a Yoruba deity named Eshu. With William Girdler at the helm and Carol Speed giving her all as the titular character, Abby is definitely far from shabby. Number 2, Orca. Piranha vs. Orca. Who you got? Well, if the criteria is bloody, horrific violence, then 1977's Orca might have the market cornered because it certainly pulls no punches.
What the hell are you? Jesus, shoot!
The film, produced by Dino De Laurentiis, is an unapologetic riff on Jaws, complete with an outstanding cast including Bo Derek, Charlotte Rampling, and Richard Harris.
Why do you think he sunk the other boats in the harbor and not yours?
Well, now, I must admit it. That rather puzzled me.
He deliberately left you your boat because he wants to fight you on the sea.
The humor used in Piranha is clearly missing here, but that's in part what makes Orca work. The movie takes itself seriously, seeking to deliver a compelling horror tale with frightening animal attack sequences. And you know what? They all come together pretty nicely. Through it all, Ennio Morricone's classic score keeps Orca from veering too hard into exploitation territory. This one's surely a keeper. Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1, Zombie 2. It doesn't matter if you call it Zombie, Zombie 2, or Zombie Flesh Eaters. Regardless, it would never have been possible without the works of pioneering filmmaker George A. Romero. Thankfully, this Italian horror gem takes the boundary-pushing template of Romero's Dawn of the Dead and amplifies the violence even further to an almost uncomfortable degree.
Out there, they're coming back to life. They're everywhere.
There's a reason why Zombie 2 is one of the UK's original video nasties, and it's thanks in part to director Lucio Fulci's Hall of Fame level gore. The Splinter sequence alone gained infamy during the film's original theatrical and VHS runs. For that and more, it's become something of a rite of passage film for any young movie buff seeking the early extremities of horror. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.